If you're sick and tired of suffering from erectile dysfunction, please watch this video. I think you finally stumbled across a YouTube video that's going to give you real answers and real solutions to your problem. I know how embarrassing this can be and has been. You're not alone. I think this is the most silent pandemic of them all. I believe this is sweeping not only the USA, but the entire world, and it's due to a variety of different factors, including expectations on men, pornography, but we'll get more into that later. The most important thing to know is that you're not alone, and there is a way out of this. We're going to talk about answers, we're going to talk about solutions, and then also hopefully get to the underlying cause for how this developed and figure out how to move on to the next stage in your life. Let me ask you, what really makes a good doctor? If you're not happy, how are you supposed to help your patients? So this video is going to be mainly for men who are younger and not suffering from vascular disease and more chronic issues related to erectile dysfunction, such as diabetes, hypertension. This is going to be more directed for 20s, 30s, even teenagers who might be suffering from this. And that's going to be a cause related to performance anxiety. You can call it what you want, but essentially the fear of not being able to get and maintain an erection, the fear of early ejaculation, or whatever that might be, is affecting your ability to get that erection. And the more failures that you have, the worse this becomes and the harder it becomes to dig out of it. So the sooner you start working toward treatment, working toward curing your erectile dysfunction, which is very possible, the faster and easier it's going to be to get over the hill and cure this for good. So with that being said, now we've kind of gotten that out of the box. If you're 60 years old and you think you have vascular disease, I'll do a separate video for you, but I'm really talking to you younger people right now who are suffering from this, from some sense of performance anxiety. I'm going to teach you how to work through it. I'm going to teach you some medication bridges we can use to get you to the other end. I'm going to teach you some ways to combat what's going on in your head and exercises that you can do so that you can, again, cure your erectile dysfunction. So there's a lot of different causes of the performance anxiety, that underlying reason that started your inability to get an erection. One of them is an initial failure. Maybe you weren't able to achieve an erection at first, you were embarrassed. That failure led into the next failure, which was a downward spiral into multiple failures, and now you might even be too afraid to engage in intercourse or with a woman that you like. And this is something that I've heard from countless men, probably thousands at this point. And then working through the strategies that we're going to go over, they were able to overcome that and break that cycle of failure. And once you break that pattern, that cycle of failure, and you start to have success, that success builds confidence and it helps you into that next success until you become non-dependent on the exercises that I'm going to teach you, not dependent on the medications that you're going to learn about and some of the techniques and the strategies. But really the goal here is to break that negative pattern and start a positive pattern of success. And we're going to talk about how exactly to do that. So an important thing to know, especially as we got into the treatment modalities, is what actually causes an erection. A lot of people think if they focus really hard, it might help, they can train for it. In reality, erections are a reflex of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of the brain that aids in relaxation, in digestion. So if you're anxious, if you're actively thinking about it, you're not going to be relaxed and you're not going to be able to achieve that erection. So really the goal here is to achieve a state of relaxation, and that's hard to do with performance anxiety. That helps in understanding kind of what causes it so we can kind of point to solutions. We want to address the underlying anxiety so that you can put yourself into a relaxed state and achieve that erection. Of course, we want to get to a point where you don't need medications to do that, you don't need techniques to do it, it just becomes second nature, and you can get there, it's possible. So now let's talk about some of the strategies that you can use to actually break this pattern, start having your first several successes, create a pattern of success so that you can build the confidence to eventually overcome this disease and live a normal life with confidence and without embarrassment. The first one, and don't hate me for saying this has become increasingly apparent in the medical community and in the social community in general, but please stop watching pornography. I'm going to do a whole separate video on this so you can learn how to do that effectively so that you're not going cold turkey, you're giving yourself a break, but it's very important that you stop your current pornography habits. This is hurting your ability to maintain and achieve an erection, and you will thank me for it later on. Now, with that being said, this is number 2. Don't stop masturbation. You just have to reframe And this is part of what stopping porn is going to do. It's going to reframe pleasure for you. It's going to reframe sexual intercourse, and you can continue masturbation. Masturbation is healthy if you do it in a healthy way. For example, not watching the craziest thing that you can find on Pornhub, but instead, going into your shower, spending some time alone, and actually enjoying the sensation, enjoying the practice of it. Once you do this for a set amount of time, you'll actually start to think differently about it, enjoy it differently, and that's going to translate into sexual intercourse. The next thing is really gaining control over your anxiety, and this is something that I recommend not only for erectile dysfunction, but for anybody suffering with a panic disorder or an anxiety disorder, and that is to meditate. Anxiety comes from a discontrol over your thought patterns, and you basically let them take over instead of you controlling your thoughts. The best way to counteract this is the best medicine in the world, and that's meditation. Sitting alone with your thoughts and actively practicing control over them. There's going to be a separate video on meditation, so you can dig a little bit deeper into that, and there are unlimited resources on the internet so that you can learn how to do that. But please start meditating 10 minutes a day. I promise you this practice, if nothing else, is going to be the difference between erectile dysfunction and complete confidence and control anytime that you want. The next suggestions are things that you can try. They're optional, but they may help, and I've heard that they have helped some people. And these are: 1, hypnosis. This is something that you can also do when you're going to sleep, listening to a sleep hypnosis that helps to instill confidence in your subconscious, essentially. And this is going to be listening to somebody talk. I believe I have one available down in the links if you want to take a look and purchase that. Or you can do one for yourself. Record yourself talking, instilling confidence in yourself. I won't go into too many graphic details, but essentially walking yourself through what it would look like to be that guy, to have that confidence. And this can help a lot of people. Another thing is affirmations. When you're by yourself doing your meditation, give yourself positive affirmations. I am confident. I am strong. I am capable. I do not have this disorder. And again, there's a lot of content online where you can learn how to use affirmations effectively. And the last recommendation that I have for you is you can use a medication bridge. I'm not like most doctors who will tell you that all medicine is bad or you should stay away from certain things, off-label use. There are several options for you, not only Viagra, Cialis, that are directly targeted at achieving an erection, but also there's medications that you can use to induce relaxation. And not only pharmaceutical medications, but there's also natural supplements that you can use, and natural herbal supplements that can help you achieve this as well. And again, we'll have a follow-up video on this, so please be sure that you're subscribed and following this channel so that you can get those updates. The medication bridge is going to be kind of the next step here. Once you've been able to use these strategies, use the medication bridges to get you your first several successes, then it's going to be a matter of weaning yourself off of those medications. But I would definitely recommend to continue the mental exercises, reframing from porn, continuing your meditation, continuing your affirmations, but starting to roll back on the medications. As you have more and more success, your confidence builds, you can start to slowly bring down your dosage, maybe even not take the Viagra one time, see what happens. To be frank, a lot of men are only suffering from this on the first several encounters when they're a little bit more nervous with a female, rather than with somebody who they've been with for a long time and they have no problem having intercourse with that person. So again, the goal here is to build confidence, get you to a point where you're comfortable, and hopefully you won't need any of these things anymore. To go fully in depth on this topic, on each strategy, each medication, would be hours of content. So please be sure to subscribe for following videos. Please be sure to like this content and share this content for anyone that you know who is suffering, so that other men who need help can find this and can get help for themselves. I will also have an entire course on fixing this from start to finish, including resources and some things that I'm not allowed to say publicly here on YouTube that may actually be useful for you. So if you click the link in the description or the caption of this video, you should be able to access that course. If it's not available as of yet, you can sign up at a massively discounted rate. And I hope you found this helpful. Again, please like so other men can find this. Please follow so you can see follow-up videos and we can go more in depth on this topic. Good luck. You're not alone. You've got this. We're going to fix this together. I'll see you in the next video.